intimidation, harassment, perpetrator, victimization, retaliation, psychological torment, social ostracism, verbal abuse, cyberbullying, power imbalance, marginalization, coercion, bystander effect, defamation, stigmatization, break the cycle, stand your ground, call someone out, speak up for oneself or others, zero tolerance policy, be the bigger person, turn a blind eye, sweep it under the rug, cross the line, brush it off, push someone's buttons, pick on someone, push someone around, rub it in, talk down to someone, Call names. Gang up on someone. Give someone a hard time.
Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
So today we're tackling a really important topic, bullying. It's something many of us have seen or maybe even experienced.
Definitely. It's unfortunately quite common.
Our aim today is to really unpack it, what bullying actually is, its effects, why it gets complicated, and, how we might approach it.
Yeah, we've looked at various definitions, common terms people use, trying to get a clearer picture.
Because it's often not simple, is it? There are lots of different facets to it.
Absolutely. It's rarely straightforward,
Sure.
so maybe starting with some core ideas.
Good idea. Like intimidation often comes up.
Right, that basic act of frightening someone, maybe making them do something they don't want to.
And harassment, too. That feels more persistent.
Exactly. Aggressive pressure, often repeated, wears you down.
And in these situations, you usually have clear roles, even if we don't always name them. There's the perpetrator.
The one causing the harm, yeah.
And then the person experiencing victimization.
Being targeted, singled out for that cruel treatment. It's very deliberate.
And what seems really key, based on a lot of definitions, is the power imbalance.
Crucial point. This isn't just a fight between equals. One side holds more power, social power, physical power, whatever it may be.
That makes sense. So how does this actually play out? What forms does it take?
Well, there's the obvious stuff like verbal abuse.
Just words, but they can really harm, humiliate someone.
Totally.
And then, increasingly, cyberbullying.
Yeah. Using tech, digital spaces.
Phones, social media, gaming platforms. It follows you everywhere.
The audience can be huge sometimes.
It can feel inescapable. Then there's social ostracism.
That's the deliberate exclusion, right? Leaving someone out.
Yeah, being ignored, pushed out of the group. It can be incredibly damaging, that feeling of being invisible or unwanted.
That intentional isolation.
Wow.
Sometimes it involves coercion, too.
Forcing someone to act, using pressure, maybe threats.
Which must lead to, well, serious emotional distress. Psychological torment is a term we came across. It is that deep internal suffering. It's not always visible on the outside, but the impact is immense.
And the impact, it can be really severe. Often there's malicious intent behind it.
Yeah, it's not accidental. It's often relentless, even ruthless behavior, designed to cause pain.
Leading to feelings of degradation, like being treated as less than human.
Precisely. And that creates such alienation.
Feeling totally isolated, cut off.
Even if you're surrounded by people. And then stigmatization often follows.
Feeling marked, like there's something wrong with you because you're being treated this way.
It's a heavy burden. And in some cases, it escalates even further.
To things like oppression, that sounds really serious.
It is. Prolonged, cruel, unjust treatment. Or persecution, maybe targeting someone for their beliefs or identity.
Wow. And even things like defamation, damaging someone's reputation.
Yeah, spreading lies or harmful information. That can wreck someone's social life, even their future prospects.
It all sounds so damaging, which makes you wonder, why is it sometimes so hard to stop?
That's a huge question. One factor is definitely the bystander effect.
Where people are less likely to help if others are around.
Exactly. Everyone assumes someone else will step in. So often, nobody does.
There's also that tendency to just downplay it, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. Just brush it off, toughen up. It's just words.
That whole sticks and stones idea.
Which really minimizes the real pain words and exclusion can cause. We also sometimes see people try to just sweep it under the rug.
Ignore it, pretend it's not happening.
Yeah, and then you get into the cycle of retaliation.
Wanting revenge, wanting to strike back.
Which feels understandable, but it just keeps the cycle of harm going. It's so hard to break the cycle.
So given all these challenges, what can be done? What are some approaches?
Well, there's the immediate stuff. Encouraging people to speak up for oneself or for others.
Finding your voice, not staying silent.
And related to that, learning to call someone out on unacceptable behavior.
Directly confronting it, saying, that's not okay.
It takes courage, but it can be powerful. On a larger scale, you see things like a zero-tolerance policy.
Like in schools or workplaces? A strict stance saying this behavior won't be accepted at all.
Right, sending a clear message. But beyond just stopping it, there's the longer-term view, too.
Okay, like what?
Well, rehabilitation for the person doing the bullying, helping them understand the impact, change their behavior patterns. It's complex, but important.
So it's not just about punishment, but about change.
Ideally, yes. And on the other side, building resilience in those who've been targeted.
Helping them recover, cope with the difficulty, regain their confidence.
Exactly. It's about healing and strength.
Okay, so pulling it all together, bullying is clearly way more than just casual meanness. It hinges on that power imbalance.
Definitely.
It shows up in lots of forms, verbal, digital, social, and the impact is serious, causing real harm.
Alienation, degradation.
Yeah. And tackling it means both stepping in directly and thinking about longer-term solutions, like changing behavior and building resilience.
A multifaceted approach for a multifaceted problem.
So here's a final thought for you listening. Maybe take a moment to think about the power dynamics you see playing out around you, even subtle ones. How might challenging those small moments where someone's being put down or excluded really contribute to shifting the environment in a more positive way for everyone? Something to reflect on.